Hello crafty friends, this is the Papered Chef here. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing 12 projects you can create using the I'll Be Yours Paper Pumpkin Kit, January 2020. Now, although I have 12 unique projects, I should say, not different, I actually have 35 different projects. So every one of my projects is a little bit different, but they fall into 12 sort of categories, if you will, of projects you can create with this kit. Now I'm going to start out with the unboxing because this is actually my second time trying to shoot this video, and I've already unboxed this and I didn't know I wasn't recording. Anyway, so let's just start with the unboxing, meaning I get 2 kits each month. My subscribers mainly, except for a couple of them, get just 1 kit each month. And the kit comes with all of the materials you need to create these projects. So for example, this kit, which if you subscribe now, you'll be getting the February kit, which has 9 cards in it. You will not be getting this particular kit. But for those of my subscribers who I dedicate this video to, the January 2020 kit came with enough materials to make 10 mini cards and 20 mini pouches. Okay, so that's what came in this kit, and it's a surprise each month. We never know what we're gonna get. So the first thing I do is I take my instructions, I open them up, I turn them over, and I look at the coordinating colors, and that's how I kind of come up with my project ideas, is based on all the coordinating colors. The coordinating colors for this kit are Crushed Curry, Highland Heather, Mint Macaron, and Rococo Rose. So you'll see how that plays into my projects. Now I've already started using the hearts from this kit because, again, I didn't know I wasn't recording. Just showing you what would be in a kit. So these are little bees, little bumblebees, made in Crushed Curry. So you get 3 sheets of those, and you actually get 4 sheets of hearts. But I've already started using one of the sheets of hearts for some examples I was showing. Okay, so these are 4 sheets of punched out hearts, which are just beautiful. Highland Heather, Rococo Rose. I just love these hearts. And then you get these little tags for your bags to help tie the string onto your bags. And then you get some white twine, baker's twine. You get some, let me put that up close to the camera. You get some little Stampin' Dimensionals, mini Stampin' Dimensionals, a stamp set. So let's put that on some white background. So you get a full stamp set. This one I haven't touched yet because this is my second kit. So that alone, I mean, the beautiful, unique stamp set to me, and the little Stampin' spot, which you always get, and the embellishments are the value of the kits, because you have enough supplies. And then you just take your mind can go wild about what you can do with them. And here's a stamping spot. I'll show you how I use the full Stampin' spots. I give those to new team members and people trying to start their collections. Okay, so I'm gonna keep showing you. Now you get 20 little pouches. I made, I think 16 or 17 of these up, so I'm gonna show you what they look like throughout the video. You get 10 little cards, but I turn them into big cards. I use the different parts of these for different things. I did make some mini cards as well, and you get mini envelopes, which I love for little note cards, care packages, what have you. It's also explaining that the I'll Be Yours kit, it coordinates with our heart punches. And I'm also going to show you how I extended this kit using not just, some hearts I cut out, but some other ways as well. So let me start with a little technique, and then I'll show you some things. Okay, so I took some hearts out of the pack, punched them out, and there's a stamp in the set called, With Love, and I'm using what's called my Stamparatus. Okay, so what you do is you take your stencil and you tape it to your Stamparatus. When I say Stamparatus, it's a stamping positioning tool. You might be familiar with stamping positioning tools, and you're going to take your heart and you're going to put it somewhere and use this over and over. So this is the area I'm going to stamp over and over. Then what you do is you take your stamp. I already have one on my Stamparatus, but I want to show you every step, and you put it down. Now don't put it this way, you want to put it opposite. You want the flat side up. So you'd lay that on your heart, and you get it to be precisely on your heart, the way you want it. Then when you lower the cover, I already have my stamp on the cover, and you lift it back up, the heart will be in the exact position, so you can stamp every time. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp a heart to show you. I tried stamping in Mint Macaron, the color that came with it, but it was not enough contrast between the foreground and the background. So then I started using Memento black ink, and that worked for me. Okay, so here's my stamp platform. I've already precisely lined up my stamp. I inked it up with Memento black, and I lower it onto my heart. Then I press, okay, and lift up, and of course the heart will stick to it, but that's okay, because you know the ink is making the heart stick to it. And you just lift it off, and voila, you have a perfectly stamped with love onto your hearts. Okay, so that's just a little trick for you whenever you want to, you know, die cut or punch out things, or use these punch outs and you want to stamp something over and over again. Make yourself a little template with your stamp positioning tool. All right, so with that said, that's my first couple of projects. My first couple of projects used that technique. And I made this little box, and I made a card out of a box using cards that I got out of this kit here. Okay, so I take whatever materials I have, and I'll be showing you that, you know, how I kind of extend these kits. So this is a kit I have. It's called the Project Kit for Seriously the Best Project Kit. So I just took some blank cards I had out of my kit, and I said, oh, well, these blank cards are mint macron, and a card looks like this, by the way. Blank card looks like this in the kit. It's already foiled. See, it already has the gold foiling in it, holding that up to the light. So there, in this project, I just took the cards and decorated them. So here are just two little projects. One is a card. I just stamped the with love on the card, popped out a couple other hearts from the kit, and some little embellishments, put this on a black background, boom, done, instant card. Okay, so now you could take your, you know, materials and extend them. And then here's the little box. I've taught how to make boxes out of a card several times on my YouTube channel. I'll try to link to the description of how to do this, but this is just a little gift box, you know, twine around it, some candy inside. I'll show you what some of my candies look like as well in this video. All right, so next I want to show you another stamping technique, which is really fun, and it's how I created the next project. And I like to do 3D projects as well as cards. All right, so for this 3D project, I'm using craft pillow boxes. Okay, craft pillow boxes, and these are in our annual catalog. But when I say catalog, I mean everything's on my website. Everything that's in a catalog printed is also on the website. Okay, so you have a little pillow box. I put 10 Hershey Kisses in there. I'll show you what they look like. And I decorated it with this kit. And I put the Be Mine on it. And the little Be Mine, I did take the little stamp, and I created, if you're following my channel, you probably have a scan and cut. So I'll show you. And if not, you're gonna have to fuzzy cut. So I stamped a bunch of little bees in black, because I thought they contrasted better than some of the crushed curry bees. Okay, so I did decorate the Be Mine with the little black bee. Okay, I added some little embellishments. Now here's how I stamped this one. So now I want to explain about the coordinating colors and how I kind of go about my projects. And at the same time, I'm going to explain this, because I think it kind of warrants explanation. Okay, so this is a different video I did on YouTube. I explained how to take this background stamp. This is my last YouTube video, so just look it up. I forget what the title is. It's something about, it's background scanning is the title. Background scan or background scanning. So I take this stamp here and stamped it onto some Whisper White cardstock. So whenever I get my coordinating colors, this is what I do. I just go through my stash of markers, of ink pads, and I get everything out, so when I do my projects, I have a lot of coordinating colors that match these kits. So I took Mint Macron, Highland Heather, and Rococo Rose, and I just stamped the background stamp onto the paper. Okay, so I put it on a stamping block and I stamped it. I explained that in the other video. Now, in that video, I showed you how to take and how to make your own hearts, which I'm using in some of the projects today. Okay, that I'm showing you. But if you don't cut out hearts from it, you just have this really cool band that you stamped, and it's so simple. You just put a little adhesive on the back, and that's it. I folded it. I didn't even use scoring tool. Nothing. I just folded this around and adhered it. It doesn't get easier, and you can decorate these little craft boxes that way. Okay, so that's just an idea, another concept for you, and I'm going to show you. This is my favorite project of all my alternative projects, but it uses that same kind of technique. When I saw these hearts, I was like, oh, these are cool. This pattern inside the hearts, and I just stamped it. So I took that same concept, this strip that I stamped, and I just stamped it in Highland Heather, Mint Macaron, and Rococo Rose. And I just have these little Hershey Kisses in there. I have the bags of the candy just so you see, because people are always asking me, what kind of candy do you use? That's what I'm using. Hershey Kisses Caramel. Okay, Hershey Kisses Caramel. Okay, so they match. They match well. I think they match well in this Valentine's project. You can even decorate both sides of this. So then I dyed my own ribbon, taking, see, I took these are alcohol markers. These are alcohol markers. These are regular markers. Here, let's put them off to the side. These are regular markers. You could dye your ribbon with the regular markers, but I like to use alcohol markers when I paint ribbon. And I say dye ribbon, I just mean I took some white ribbon I had. I just had some white ribbon, organdy white ribbon, and I dyed it to match this project, see? Rococo Rose. So that's how I made this. And I was gonna put something on it. I was gonna put some text on it, and I thought, I don't think it even needs it. It doesn't even need any text. It's so cute the way it is. So anyway, that's a little treat holder. And I've done this many times on YouTube. It's called a tag treat, showing you how to make tag treats. And then I just I made it into a little box by putting some crushed curry around the side. All right, so now I'm gonna show you, I've shown you a few projects, and I'm gonna show you now my little mini cards I made using the concept from the kit. So this is just one, I'm calling this one project, even though I'm showing you probably 8 cards or so in envelopes. This is something in the kit. So every time I do a kit, I just create each one uniquely because it's more fun that way, just to decorate each card a little bit differently. Just making room on my table here. All right, so here we go. So we got Be Mine with Love. Okay, so these are just ideas for your mini cards. This is again a Be Mine card, and I took a little piece of the envelope, and I like to explain the materials I use so you get ideas on how to extend your kits. I just have punches. This one's called the Timeless Label Punch. I use my punches, and I like to create other elements and shapes for the cards in addition to what comes in the kits. Happy Valentine's Day. These hearts are right out of the kit. Just punched them out. Boom, instant cute little cards. I stamped the bottom, but there's this little stamp that came here. I used Rococo Rose for that little bottom background, and then I used Mint Macaron to stamp the background. And that's actually one of the suggested projects. So I guess if you want to say what is the closest thing to what the Stampin' Up! Suggests in this instructions, because there's always instructions, which I never really follow, but if you do want to follow them, this is the good suggestion. Putting Mint Macaron, it's like tone on tone stamping. When you put the same color stamp as you have for the background, that's tone on tone stamping. Oh, I got embellishments sticking everywhere. I wonder where these came from. Oh well, doesn't matter. All right, so Be Mine and Be Mine again. I don't even know which ones I showed you now, but I did decorate some envelopes. I probably didn't show you these ones. Now these ones I cut out using that technique, and it's in a different video, so I'm not gonna belabor this point. So if you want to understand this concept of how I cut out these hearts using a machine and background scanning feature, then look up my background scanning video I just did a couple, a few days ago. Here you go. By the time I publish this, who knows? And you can decorate your envelopes. You can make more of your own hearts, and you can also stamp a background and use the heart punches, which I did order. I'm pretty sure I ordered. I can never remember what I ordered because I'm a craft hoarder, and that's kind of the sure sign when you order the same thing twice or don't remember what you ordered. All right, so this is thank you card. All right, so anyway, that's another project. So I don't even know how many projects I'm up to, but I'm going to start showing you some full-size cards because I think my audience likes the idea of making full-size cards out of these kits. Because, sometimes I hear, I don't really have a need for mini cards, because I'm always talking about putting them into care packages. And some people don't do a lot of care package mail, but they want to send snail mail. This is how you extend your kit to full-size cards and then do snail mail. Okay, so here, again, I'm using those coordinating colors. I'm using Crushed Curry, Highland Heather. Let's see if I didn't put anything inside this card yet. Okay, Happy Valentine's Day card. I can give this to my mom or to, my hubby, but I have a different one for my hubby. And you just, using those same techniques, I used that Timeless Label Punch for this element here that came out of one of the pouches. I used the little embellishments. I used some that I stamped, some that I punched out. I popped some up with dimensionals, as you can see. Some are 3D, some are not. And that's that card. Now, every time you emboss, you can get like a whole different effect for your card. And you're gonna see that as I compare these different embossing folders, and I also compare how I ink some embossing folders. So I'm gonna bring that card a little closer. Then I'm gonna show you now the technique. Or here, let's stand this up, because I like how the light shines off of this mosaic. It's called Mosaic 3D Embossing Folder. These embossing folders are so thick that when you run them through your machine, you only need one cutting plate. They're so thick. Look how thick these are. So cool. And these are big. These are like the 6 by 6 inch ones. And I like to scratch things. I don't know, I just love textures. Just to show you that. Both sides are cool. So I thought this looked so cool, the 3D Mosaic 3D embossing folder, that I didn't even need to ink it up because you could see the textures in it already. So now I'm going to move to a different kind of embossing folder. Now this would be like a standard embossing folder you might find. This isn't, it's still 3D, but it's more like the standard size, I should say, you'd find for like an A2 card. So this is called the Coastal Weave 3D embossing folder. So let me show you the embossing folder first and then the 2 cards. This is something you can get in our 2020 mini catalog. It's part of the Timeless Tropical bunch, or Timeless Tropical Suite, not bunch, Timeless Tropical Suite. Here are some hearts I cut out using my scan and cut, but you could punch out hearts. I stamped them using that background stamp I showed you, and that's it. Just embellishments right from the kit and the Be Mine. I did cut out the little bee. And I did put something inside as well. Happy Valentine's Day with one more heart, because I wanted to use a different color heart inside. So pretty cool. Coastal Weave embossing folder. Here's Coastal Weave embossing folder again for a sympathy card. No, this stamp does not come in this kit with much sympathy. So use your other stamps that you have in your stash to extend your paper pumpkin kits. And use other colors. Now I decided to use another color. I decided to take this. This is just one of the cards, by the way, in case you're wondering. I embossed the Coastal Weave embossing folder I embossed one of these little cards, and then I cut it and I had 2 triangles from it. Okay, that's what that is in the background, plus one of the embellishments from the hearts. This with much sympathy is just one of my old paper pumpkin kits, a stamp I had from there. And then what I did here is I took this other color that I thought coordinated well. It's one of our in colors. It's called Seaside Spray. Seaside Spray. All right, I'm going to show you my favorite card last. Let me put that off to the side so you can't see it. This will be my next card I show you, and then I'm going to show you some bags and I'll get back to my other card. So here we go. This is called by the way, I'm done with the sympathy card, except for I'll say that it is for a friend. I have a friend who lost her dear aunt, her only aunt, and so I'm sending that to her. So that's why, if you're wondering, like, why are you making a Valentine's heart on there? Because she likes pink and because it's timely, and I'm not writing anything inside like Happy Valentine's Day. That's going to be a sympathy card. All right, so here we go. Now we're showing you this one. Okay, this is another embossing folder called Hammered Metal 3D embossing folder. Now, hammered metal looks incredible on metal, meaning when you use gold foil, copper foil, silver foil. This embossing folder is amazing by Stampin' Up. I mean, all the stuff I'm showing, most of it is by Stampin' Up. But look at this thing. How cool. Okay, so that's the hammered metal. Now, I took mint macaron, and I just thought that the hammered metal wasn't showing up well. So I inked it up using the crumb cake, my old style stamp pad. But use what you got. Hey, you got to use what you got. So I inked it up using some crumb cake just to make the hammered metal stand out more. And then I just embellishments. This is straight from the kit, by the way. Everything. Mint macaron ink came out of the kit. These hearts just punch right out. These bees punch right out, and these stickers stick right on there. This is a card that would take you really 5 minutes to make. It's such a simple card. And do all your embossing at once. Do all your stamping at once. That's my advice. Okay, so I do have my final card I'm going to show you after I show you my bags and another treat. So first, I'm going to show you I'm going to show you how to take your kit and extend it into these gift bags. Okay, so I have basically, but where we're at, I had 12 projects to show you. I am on project number 10. Okay, because after this one, I have this project, and then I have the mini treat bags. I'm going to show you the mini treat bags, which is one project, and then I'm going to show you my final card. Okay, so anyway, that's where we're at. Happy Valentine's Day bag. So back to, okay, extending your kit. So I have this called the Gift of Fall. There's lots of bags in it, and I bought lots of refills for the Gift of Fall. So I had all these cute little bags. And I'm putting, this is Hershey Kisses in there. Just when you give them out to your, coworkers and stuff, you just hand out Hershey Kisses. So this bag is like a give out treat bag. Plus, I'm going to put a note on it, and at the end, put a little present in there for a friend. Okay, so this is what you do. You take your card, your embellishments, and I just made a card, like 3.5, I think this was, and 3.25 matting. So I just made a little mini square card, and I taped it onto the bag, or maybe used some foam adhesives, and that's it. So you have a card on a bag, and let's be friends, and that's so simple, little piece of twine. Okay, you can fit so much stuff in this kind of bag. So that's how to make a gift bag out of your paper pumpkin kit. And then I want to show you these pouches. I probably made 17 or 18 of these pouches so far, and every one of my pouches is a little different. So let's make some room here. We'll make some room for these. I need to get, okay, so we have, I didn't put candy in all of them, but when I did, I'm going to show you what I put inside. So let's just go through each little one, because each pouch is different. So once you seal them though, you have to put some adhesive on there and seal the pouch. Okay, and then I can't open it to show you what's inside. That's why I have it like my candy separate. Okay, then once you give it to somebody, they open it, and that way they get to eat the little candy. But once it's sealed, it's not like my other treats where I usually can reopen and show you. Okay, so everyone, I try to put little bee mine whenever I could because there were so many bees in this kit. And I still have so many bees left over from my first kit, and not even, I'm just getting started. So when you see a pouch like this, you have to say, well, what do you put inside? Because it's kind of thin, right? It's not very thick. So I was thinking tea bags would fit well in here. Tea bags and like a little honey stick. I stamped with love right on the envelope. Okay, I thought of different kinds of candies, and that's where I came up. And I thought seeds would go good in here because it's kind of reminds me of a seed pouch. So in this one, and these, a few of them, I put some candies already, and I'll explain what's inside them. But then I tried to also put like Hershey Kisses, but I just want to show you, I think that's too bulky. I just don't think that looks right. So I'm saying don't put Hershey Kisses inside. Instead, try this. Here, try using, what I did is M&Ms and some little cinnamon candies. So here's the ones I put little candies in already. I just want to keep showing them to you because I need to make a little room before I show you. Okay, so there we go. Be mine. Here's again some that I haven't put candy in yet. I have plenty of time before Valentine's Day to put candy inside them. But the thank you ones I'm using soon. Put that off to the side. Okay, and be mine. All right, so there are all the pouches. Oh, here's one more. Now let me grab the candy. So the candy that fits well in the pouches are these. Let me make some room. I know I'm about to have an avalanche on my table. All right, here we go. I don't want my crafty friends to miss any steps, so I like to show you because I get asked, you wouldn't believe how often I get asked about, what do you put inside? What do you put inside? For every single thing I make, people ask me what I put inside. These are pretty cool. These are called Cupid's Mix and Cupid's Messages. And I already lost one of the bags. Okay, so we'll put, this is Cupid's Mix. So M&M's Cupid's Mix. Here it is. And Cupid's Messages. Okay, so check those out in your grocery store because then you get different size M&Ms and you can put them in your pouches. But if you want to try, like say people can't eat dairy maybe, and you want to give them some other kind of treat in these little pouches. Now what I'm talking about now is what you can put in these pouches in your paper pumpkin kit. Because after all, this video is dedicated to my subscribers. They need ideas on what to put inside the paper pumpkin pouches. Besides tea, when you want to put treats in there. You can get these from the dollar store or from just a grocery store. These are called Cinnamon Imperials. Okay, these fit really well inside the pouches because they're not very thick. But these, the taste of the cinnamon are going to mix with the taste. They're going to make your milk chocolate taste like cinnamon, so you might want to put them in separate pouches. The Cinnamon Imperials. All right, so that was project number 11. And now for my favorite of all projects that I created with this kit so far. with the I'll Be Yours paper pumpkin kit is this card here called Let's Be Friends. The reason I like this is because I thought that when I saw this for Cocoa Rose color that this looked like brick to me. It looks like that old brick. Okay, so I thought, oh, I'm gonna use the brick and mortar embossing folder. The brick and mortar 3D embossing folder. And I'll show you how my technique as well. Okay, again, I like to scratch things. I just love 3D. Okay, so here we go. This card is made from, let's see, Happy Valentine's Day inside, let's see. Oh, Highland Heather, Rococo Rose, and just the embellishment straight out of the kit. I stamped him at Macron, put a little heart on the front. So for me, that's my favorite card. And I just did it like this. I took your Whisper White Stampin' craft pad and one of my sponges. That's it. And I sponged inked this white onto the brick so that it would stand out more. All right, so I hope you enjoyed these projects you can create with your paper pumpkin kit. There are 12 unique types of projects and over 35 different items that I created with this kit. I've only used one kit, except I did take a couple hearts out of the second kit, and that is it. All of the things I'm showing you can be done with one kit. Okay, you just take your hearts and you can extend those to cards, 3D projects, and lots of other things. All right, so if you have any questions, please, or comments, please put them in the video. Put them down underneath the video. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe here because I do this every month with every paper pumpkin kit that I get. I try to see what kinds of alternate projects I can make with it. It's really fun. You get your crafting mojo by doing that. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. If you're in the US and you're not a subscriber of Paper Pumpkin, please use my link and check out the Paper Pumpkin kits as well. Thank you for watching. This is the Papered Chef.